That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Check 56.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. They go read option with Wilson. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And he's able to get most. Of what he needed on the carry there, 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and
2. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
They'll try and run for it with Penny, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will get the football at their 20. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Ready. Yellow lady. Whoa. Opposite.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks' 10-yard line. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. To throw, it's Breeze. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now Rashad Penny. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
One of the surprises of the 1st round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the 2nd round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns.
He resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns during his career at San Diego State for touchdowns.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st. Just a gain of 1 there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
March 54. Hey, wahoo. So we got man.
Right there, 54.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got this down to the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3.
13.
Right there, 54, right there.
Now Breeze. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
He's coming. We got double.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The previous play went to the offense with a nice run, but that last play we just saw certainly went to the defense.
So you're keeping a little bit of a ledger there, aren't you?
Tally.
You know, somebody wins, someone loses. But you get this sense offensively, they're continuing to probe around, trying to find the runs that are going to work, and then they'll go to them consistently.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Mike Bravo.
Shotgun now for Breeze. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Break it down, fellas. Break it down. He's checking. Check.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Hey, Haywood. You're good. My 4, ready.
On play action, now Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Kelvin Benjamin, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 29, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. A gain there of 21 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Looking deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They give him a gain of 37.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They go read option with Wilson. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he is down deep into Seattle territory. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks' 19-yard line. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Get ready, get ready, get ready. 21. Here we go.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Throwing is Wilson. Steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go read option with Wilson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 31-yard line.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Go, 14. Check.
On second and 12, Wilson forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out.
And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 37. And it's no good. Lutz pulled it. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second and a couple. Breeze. And that's caught inside the 35. And at the end of it, he stripped. Ball comes loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. And we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. They run again with Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To throw is Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They go read option with Wilson. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Fielded at about the 28. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Kill. Let's go, defense.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
X3, 218, chop.
They run it again with Kamara.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, kill. Hey, Delta.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And he finds Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Ready. 95, 56.
At the 6-yard line.
You're good. My 4. Ready.
On play action, it's Breeze. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal.
Hey, check 24. Hey, orbit. 36.
Mike's 54. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how it's big.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Marcus Davenport able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wilson. Buying time to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Back over them into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Green 80.
Mike 58, right there. Watch the screen.
Good.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by a former 1st-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
We play to win. Let's go.
Their own 19-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to look deep for more. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. And now, in certain situations, they will take them out. But for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Sammy!
You ain't got nothing. Mike 50.
Hey, box drop.
Double. Mike 50. Watch the run.
5-1.
Hey, Mike's 50. Don't get nervous. Mike's 50.
Five.
Breeze going to go on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. Some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Evades the tackler, and now some space. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw again on second down. Breeze. This will be caught at about the 6. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Ready? You ready? 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Good, good, good. Line 4. Ready.
They'll run it with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Kamara trying again, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. They'll run on first down. Carson, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. And the Seahawks on third down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He's going to let it fly. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Von Bell. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up second and 12.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.